Hello everyone, I just got this sweet new tablet. This is Samsung's best highest end tablet. It's the Samsung Galaxy Tab S2. Comes in two different sizes. I got the 8-inch, also comes in a 9.7-inch. These are roughly equivalent to the iPad Mini 4 and the iPad Air 2 in size and specs and overall build quality. So let me mention why I got this. What drew me to this tablet is the display. First of all, it has a 2048 by 1536, which is QXGA. That's compared to the 1980 by 1920 by 1080, which is considered 1080p. So it's a higher resolution than 1080p, although it has a different aspect ratio. It has a 4 to 3 aspect ratio rather than a 16 to 9 aspect ratio. What that means is that it is more squarish. It's not as long and skinny as most phones. That does mean when you're watching movies, it'll have letterboxing, the black bars at the top and the bottom. But if you're browsing the web or doing other tasks, it could actually be better. And plus, I don't really mind the letterboxing, especially when you're holding it in such a way that your thumbs might be over the letterboxing. So the display is one reason that I got it. The speed is a 1.9 gigahertz plus 1.3 gigahertz octa-core processor. What that means is it supposedly gets better battery life because when it's doing something that is not very CPU intensive, it switches to the 1.3 gigahertz processor and uses less battery power. It has 3 gigabytes of LPDDR3 RAM, which is really good. And it has 32 gigabytes of internal memory, but it also has an expandable micro SD slot, so you can put a 128 gigabyte micro SD card in there. One thing to note, perhaps not everyone knows this, but the memory that is internal to the tablet is for apps. The micro SD, that is the expandable storage, is for content. So even if you have a 128 gigabyte micro SD card in there, that would be for pictures, movies, that sort of thing. The apps need to live on the 32 gigabytes. But most games are under a gigabyte. Really fancy graphics intensive games are over a gigabyte, but probably average. Most games are around half a gigabyte, and most non-games are less than that. So I'm thinking that that will be enough storage. This is the black version. The final reason that I got this is it is extremely thin and light, and most importantly light. It is 9.35 ounces, which is crazy light. I think it's the lightest one that I could find of anything even closely resembling the specs on this thing. It's even lighter than the iPad Mini 4, which is amazing. The reason for that is I plan on doing some traveling with this, and I want something that's light as possible, but more importantly, I found that I use it when I'm lying in bed or on the couch, and holding it up constantly can get tiring on the hands. So I wanted something that would be just as light as possible and as comfortable to use. So let's go ahead and open it up and we'll have a look at it. It's got these little tape parts right here. All right. Beautiful box. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but it's kind of like pearlescent. I don't know if that's a word, but pearlescent would describe it. So here we have, this is kind of like a soft fabric-y thing. There's a tab that's sticking there right there. So this is the tablet itself. Pretty amazing. Let's put that aside for a minute and see what else is in here. This is a little tool for opening the micro SD slot. I'll show you that in a minute. Power adapter. Pretty light, pretty compact. Cable, quick start guide, promotional material, warranty, certificate. See if there's anything else in there. Any other surprises? Other surprises. Okay, so let me put that there and we'll have a look at the tablet. So let's see how we open it. This is taped shut. Alright. I might actually keep this outer thing, just use this as a kind of a case if I put it in my backpack. right, that's the back. The front doesn't actually have any kind of static cling stuff on there. I expected that to have that. So it is very nice. We will do the peel, the inaugural plastic peel that feels so good. It sounds so good. Peel it right off of there. Alright, so the back it's actually, and I like this, it's not perfectly smooth. It's kind of like a rubbery feeling. It actually feels like a very solid rubber, which is good because I don't want to use a case with it and I don't want it slipping out of my hands as easily. So there it is. There's a power button. There's the camera. I think the camera has a little plastic thing. Let's see if we can peel that off. Yeah, gotta get the peel on here. There we go. And the last sticker is the model number sticker. Peel that off, and there you go. So it is fully unboxed and unpackaged now. So on the back we have the camera and two buttons, which I can only imagine are... Actually, I have no idea what those buttons are. If I find out, I'll put it in the description. But on the right-hand side, we have power button, volume rocker, and I don't know if you can see it, but this is the micro SD slot. And let me go ahead and show you how that works with my little tool. So this, if you lose this, you can use just a pin or something pointy. But basically what you do is you just, the way I understand it, is you just poke it in that hole, and then that pops up. And you grab it like that, you stick your little micro SD card in there, and it looks very nice. This is aluminum or magnesium or some kind of alloy that has a very nice looking bevel, and it feels pretty good on the hands too. Actually, it feels really good. It's not sharp, it's not uncomfortable to hold, and it looks really nice because the metal, the alloy, shows all along there, very shiny, and you can see it in that slot too and along the buttons. So you put your card in there and then you just push it back in. I think it went this way. You just push it back in and let's fire it up. Guess you hold down the power button. Intro screen's coming up. We'll select English, United States. And I'm going to leave it here. Actually, we'll go on to the... Let's see if I can skip these just to get to the home page and see what apps are loaded by default. So I'm going to skip all this. I'll have to go through the menus and find that to set it up later. See if it'll even let me set it up, or skip that, I should say. I'll do that later. Okay, there it is. So this is the stock Android, or no, I'm sorry, not the stock, it's Samsung's version of Android. I think it's 5.02 that comes on here automatically. The current one as of right now is, I think, 5.1.1 or something like that. So I'm going to update the Android to the latest 5.1 or whatever it is. So here it is. It is very nice. It is a beautiful display. As you can tell, it's extremely high resolution. I don't see any issues with it. Viewing angles, of course, are amazing. Colors are amazing. And that's it. So I'm going to put some links down below. You might need to click to expand the description, but I'm going to put links so you can see the price and the full specs of this down below, both the 8-inch version and the 9.7-inch version. And also put some links for the iPad equivalents. Like I said, this is roughly equivalent to the iPad Mini 4. You can see how thin it is. I believe it's actually thinner than the iPad Mini, but super thin and lightweight. And another reason that I got it is that Android, unlike iOS, supports not only keyboards, but also a mouse. So you can get a Bluetooth keyboard that's inexpensive and about 6 ounces. You can use that, and you can use a Bluetooth mouse, which you cannot use with Apple iOS devices. So I could combine this, which is 9.35 ounces, along with a Bluetooth keyboard, which is about 6 ounces, and a Bluetooth mouse, which is about 3 ounces. And for right around £1, I can have almost the equivalent of a little laptop, especially if I were to use GoToMyPC and remote into a home computer. I could, use my home computer with a keyboard and mouse and get some serious work done. So I'm going to put those links down below. Check them out. Check for prices, and if you're interested in getting one of these, you can find those links below. Thanks for watching.